Hey guys, what's going on? I thought I'd make a little video for you guys, just going over some of the loadouts or the artifact builds that I use throughout all my playthroughs. This one in particular really focuses on the engineer, but again, these builds also work for the gunner, scout, and even driller with some exceptions. Apart from the strong arm driller, some of these builds might not work so well with them. So the first build we got is called the glass cannon of sorts. So this one, caution is thrown out. You're a mercenary, a killing machine capable of dealing maximum damage whilst avoiding fatal one-hit kills when necessary. So if you couldn't tell, it does really affect your vitality, but then promptly increases your damage. So what I use is the pop-up tripod to increase reload speed and fire rate standing still. I won't go over what each artifact does. I've already got a video about that, but I'll just say what I use. So first we got the pop-up tripod to increase reload speed and fire rate when I stand still. Then we got pickled nitra, which increases your damage but then also decreases your movement speed for each piece of nitra. Then next I've got the ammo rig, which increases fire rate but then decreases movement speed. And the last one is just nitrogenic powder or nitro powder to increase your critical hit. So this one, as you can tell, you got the pickled nitra, the ammo rig, just really decrease your movement speed. The thing that works well with this is because of the really slow movement speed you got, you almost are like standing still. So that's why you chuck in the pop-up tripod to then shoot faster, reload faster, and the nitro powder increases your critical hit chance. This one really is, you move super slow, you can easily get ganged up on by enemies. Maybe your enemy can like 2-tap here, maybe a dreadnought can pounce on you, you can't do a lot. Quick enough you can dodge out of the way. So this build really is just glass cannon. You just deal superb damage, but there is a trade-off of having not a lot of health. The second loadout I use for Engie and some of the other classes is I call it the safe not sorry. This build utilizes safety over damage, so you can make the most of a bad situation. So again, I use the pop-up tripod, but this time I also use the barley bulb juice. So when I do start moving, I have a movement speed increase like 3 or 4 seconds, which is nice. It gets me out of sticky situations. Again, I use the ammo rig because more fire rate, less movement speed. The barley bulb just counteract the movement speed decrease a tiny bit, but then once the barley bulb wears off, the ammo rig movement speed decrease does kick back in. It's nice, this build's good to stand still a bit, move a little bit. Next we got the BLT sandwich or the BLT ration pack. This one is just a fat health boost and some health regen. So it is quite nice. I just use it to always make sure I'm a little bit healthier because if I get damaged, I'd like to have a bit extra health just so I can tank a few more hits, because again, I'm not looking to do a whole lot of damage, I'm just looking to survive. If I've got a really tough challenge, like reach level 60 of scout, I'll probably go off this build just to maximize how much health I got. Moving on, I call this one the max risk, max reward build. So personally, it's my favorite as you can stack over 100% critical hits to deal even more damage than just regular damage increase modifications. So this one is real. In the beginning, it's very high risk, but then high reward, because if you have low critical hit chance, you won't proc as much, and then in turn, you're not really getting the benefit. But once you do reach over 50% critical hit, even close to that, you will crit almost every second bullet, which is just insane. And then if like regular mod upgrades, like critical hit chance increase, it goes nuts. So for this build, I've got the Squint E's or the Squint EE5. I call it Squinties. So this one just increases critical damage, critical chance, but overall reduces your damage. So it's kind of a catch-22. So you do a little bit less damage, but in return you can deal out a bit more on criticals. The follow-up, I've got the nitro powder. So again, more nitro, more critical hit. This works really well because you can just bulk up on your nitro and be cool. Next, I got the pop-up tripod. So this one just reload speed, fire rate. That way I can just deal more bullets faster to try and proc as many criticals as I can. And then finally the DRG manual, one of the new artifacts that came out. To get this one, you're just going to die 3 times, pretty easy. This one increases reload speed, damage, I think movement speed, I'm not too sure about that one, sorry, critical chance and critical hit. So it's fairly nice. This one is it's not great, but I use it because it gives you that tiny extra boost to the criticals, which is what you need. And finally, the last build I recommend for you guys, I call it the increased damage at the cost of progression. So this one is really, this one's a weaker build. It still serves a purpose to those that don't have access to every artifact. The only issue is that you need to try and save all your resources, and by resources I mean gold and nitro. So you kind of know where I'm going with this. It's going to be the gold tip bullets, so they increase your damage by 1% for every 5 gold held, which is nice. The only issue is though, you can't spend the gold. You can, but if you spend the gold you will lose this bonus. Next is the nitro powder to increase the critical hit chance. You know, it's always nice. I think it's every 5 nitro or 1 nitro you get a 0.5% increased critical hit chance, which, you know, it's not as big, but it is nice. And then the last 2 artifacts I got are just the gold scanner and nitro scanner. You can actually double up on these artifacts if you're lucky, so you can get 2 gold scanners, you can get 2 nitro scanners. It's really up to what you want. So if you're more of just straight up damage, I would recommend 2 gold scanners if you can roll them, but if you're more feeling a bit lucky and want to get the criticals, I'd recommend 2 nitro scanners. Remember this though, this is your gameplay, it's your rules, your fight, use whatever works best for you. These what I just recommended, you may think are absolute garbage. I think they're good. Just remember, this is in regard to Engineer though. So Engineer really is a nice build to kind of stand still and deal huge damage and huge fire rate. Feel free to use these builds in different classes though if you can. If you want though, feel free to comment down below the artifacts you'd like to run on your mission, so we can kind of help out our community what we think is good and bad. I've got a video coming up about the pay to lose console, sorry, pay to win console. One of the worst artifacts in my opinion still in the game. I've got an idea to rework it, but I've just got to, you know, finish up the script and whatnot. But hopefully you guys like this video. Again, this is my opinion, you know, so don't take my word as gospel. If this build doesn't work for you, then, you know, stop using it. But I think you can see a pattern that a lot of these have the pop-up tripod, which really does encourage standing still to maximize your reload speed and movement speed, which, you know, it does come at risk, high risk, high reward. Like, you know, a driller using strong arm, you know, throwing things out faster, kinda does and doesn't work, but then, you know, slow firing or fast firing weapons getting a really quick, you know, reload speed and fire rate does benefit them more. Like gunners, thunderhead cannon's a bit slow, this helps it out a little bit, it's a bit nice. But that's kind of my playstyle. I do like to kind of stand still a tiny bit just to get that huge damage boost and whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Feel free again to let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be eager to read it, and see you guys around. Have a good day.